What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new, my name is Patty Lifts, WNBF Pro, natural physique competitor, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through a bicep workout so you guys can accelerate growth, and it's only going to need dumbbells because I know half of the gyms around the world are closed down, so I'm trying to show love to everybody. So it's going to be a big workout today, even though it's just biceps. So I'm about to take 2 scoops of Ghost Legend, Welch's Grape. So let's get it. So I want to break down, the different parts of the bicep. So I see a lot of people in the gym, they just hit the inside of their bicep when they're working out, and that's a short head. So your bicep's actually made up of 2 parts. It's a long head on the outside, that's going to be the aesthetic side where you fill out your t-shirt, and then you got the short head right here. So a lot of the time people just hit the short head and they neglect the long head, because in most exercises naturally that's what's going to be activated. So in today's workout, I do want to emphasize the long head, and I'll show you guys how to execute each exercise and make sure you're getting the best bang for buck. So we're getting into hammer curls, one of my favorite movements, probably because I get to lift a little bit heavier on this one. The hammer curl, because of your wrist position, your palms are going to be facing in towards your body, so a neutral grip. You're going to be hitting your outer head of your bicep. Also, because of that, you're going to be working your Radial Brachialis, which connects your forearm and your bicep. So that's where it's going to be. So in an aesthetic standpoint, I do believe that it is important to have that. You don't want to have some big ass arms and then little sticks up top. And the last reason why I want to hit this first is because you're going to be able to get the most amount of tension on this one. It's a movement where you will be able to load it a little bit heavier. So I do want to prioritize this one first, especially since I want to focus on the outer head. So with hitting arms, and your smaller muscle groups, I see a lot of people just going through the motions. You still have the progressive overload while you're doing curls. So, if you're always going for the 20s or the 25s, try and up it. Try and go for the 30s or 35s. Or if you can't do that, add a rep. The same principles apply to your bigger muscle groups. You still want a progressive overload. So one of the reasons why I'm actually focusing on some biceps today, so I was talking to the WNBF president, and he told me that I need to work on my arms. I did a physique update for him. So I feel like changing my proportions, especially with how limited an off season can be with overall growth, is gonna make a big difference. Instead of just adding, let's say, 3 to 5 pounds over my whole body, if I hyper target specific parts of my body, you're gonna look totally different when you're shredded. You guys need to know, to the people who aren't fitness nerds, the long head of your bicep actually crosses your shoulder joint. So the position that your bicep is in, like let's say overhead or behind, matters. Now the reason why this matters a lot on incline curl is because your arm is back, it's gonna be at a biomechanical standpoint to make sure you're gonna be activating that long head more. So when you're doing this exercise, make sure, because this is not a full incline, so I lean forward, I pull my elbow back. When I'm curling, that elbow got to stay back. Now if you're coming forward like this, you're gonna take that away and you're just gonna start activating the inner head. So depending on what you want to activate, you can adjust the positioning of your elbow. Make sure you guys are also not sleeping on the twist. You guys gotta make sure you're supinating. So one cue that I like to think of is when you're coming up top, focus on your pinky, squeeze your bicep and twist it like you're trying to turn your pinky across your arm. You're gonna get a big squeeze and then control it on the way down. Don't just drop the weight. You wanna keep that tension on the bicep. Make sure you're activating it. If you're just dropping it, you're gonna take away the whole exercise, because you get more benefit from the negative than you do from the on the way up. So we're moving on to Zottman Curl, and I really like this one because you get the benefit of the supination of a regular bicep curl. So as you're coming up, you're gonna twist, and at the very top, you're gonna turn inwards. It actually turns into the negative of a reverse curl. So you're gonna get a little bit more forearm work to get that nice bicep tie-in. The reason why I like this one specifically versus just regular reverse curls is because you get to overload at the top, create a lot of potential energy at the top, and then as you go down, you're gonna get to use a load that you normally wouldn't be able to use just doing reverse curls. So you get to overload the forearm, and since my forearms are a little pencil, I need the most overload that I can get. Guys should be struggling through arm day too. No lacking. Woo. Woo. One more exercise. I already start feeling the pump. So as you guys go through your workout, make sure you guys leave the ego at the door. Whatever rep range you're trying to hit in RPE, make sure you're choosing the right load. So that means I have to drop the weight. So we're moving on to the last exercise here. It's the concentration death curl. And how this one's gonna work is just, the typical concentration curl. Make sure I have my arm up against my leg as a base. Come all the way up, all the way down. But this variation here, we're gonna implement an isometric contraction. So as we're going up, every time we reach halfway range of motion, we're gonna pause, come all the way up, come back down halfway, pause, come all the way back down. And that counts as 1 rep. Now make sure you use a weight that you can comfortably use with this one. Make sure we can bang out the correct rep range. And this one's gonna be a burner, so gotta mentally dial in and smash this. That one's killer. Once it starts to get hard, don't cheat it. Make sure you guys feel that burn and push through it. Make sure you guys are doing it properly. If you start cheating it through, skipping, starting to use momentum, missing out on that pause, you guys are only cheating yourself. Those reps where you're really pushing yourself are the ones that are gonna really matter. You guys aren't feeling it by this 4th exercise, you're doing something wrong. You have to make sure you guys are hitting that relative intensity, hit that correct RPE closer to failure. You guys are gonna really feel this in your biceps. It's insane. I'm like low on carbs right now and I still feel a pump. It feels great. And that was a great workout. I'm feeling really good right now. Super happy with that. And I want you guys to take a couple things away from this video. And that's one of the reasons why I like to make these videos, is so you guys can learn and implement these things into your journey. If you're doing the same thing every single day, you can't expect a different result. You have to make sure you're switching it up all the time and you're properly executing everything. So from this workout, a couple things I wanted you guys to execute is focus on the long head of the bicep. Now you can do that with different things, with the different grips, different angles of hitting your bicep. Also, make sure you guys are progressive overloading your biceps. You're not just hitting the same weight every time. You guys saw I got all the way up to the 70s with hammer curls, up to 35s with regular Saltman curls, that type of thing. You know, I'm still aiming, I want those 75s. Like, I'm looking at those 80s. I want to hit those for hammers. There's gonna be no limit to how far I want to push it. And at the end, you know, you're gonna have to switch up different techniques to better target your biceps. So that's isometric contraction by implementing pauses, you know, switching up to different exercises to provide yourself a new stimulus. And you guys need to do that. Don't just stick to the same thing all the time. Be open to switch things up, try new things, and who knows, you might not like it at first, but it could be a staple in your development for the future. So, you know, I'm trying to elevate my game. I'm trying to hit worlds and bring my best physique for next year. And I want to bring you guys with me. So I hope you guys enjoyed that bicep workout. If you did, please let me know below. Comment, like, subscribe, and much love. I appreciate you guys.